Okay, so we are going to talk about evidence integration today, or writing the response part. This is not a new lecture. We discussed it many times during the outline lectures. This was a part of outline, and I showed you the handout. I'm going to use the same handout that we discussed before. So we go to the Blackboard, we go to our course and term paper. And as I said, there's nothing new here. It's just a revision of whatever we have discussed during the outline part. So, and then you go down, TP folder, TP material. So in the TP material, I told you the handout is these two handouts: evidence integration, integrating evidence into body paragraph. This is practice. This is the handout that we discussed before, and I asked you to use this handout for your outline. It was sent to your, oh, this is not the one. So, and it was sent to your email. We discussed it before in the outline lecture as well, 2 or 3 times. So let's just have a quick overview. So whenever you paraphrase, you add a, first of all, again, you start the body paragraphs, main idea 1, main idea 2, main idea 3 with the topic sentence. Cannot be a source. It's your topic sentence. But you have to paraphrase your idea from the thesis. There's 3 topic sentences. All the 3 times you paraphrase the idea, all the 3 times you're mentioning your full topic. Next, beginning of main idea 1, beginning of main idea 2, start of main idea 3, all 3 times. Topic sentence and minimum 2 to 3 sentences where you will write your subpoint 1, explain it a little bit, discuss it a little bit. Now you can add your source. So 3 to 4 sentences each main idea, no source. You can add your source. Once you add your source, as soon as you add your source, you are going to use APA in-text citation. Very good paraphrasing, so your safe assign is fine and you get a good score for your paraphrasing. You make sure that the information before and after, they are all matching, relevant, making sense, and then you write a response. So how do you write the response? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. Option 1 is you can write a further explanation. You can explain it more, but you don't repeat the idea. So a lot of students, what they do, they paraphrase something and then they say, to explain it more, they re-paraphrase. They take the same idea from the paraphrase, explain it in different words. So basically they paraphrase from a website, then they do another paraphrase of the paraphrase itself, So that is wrong. It's explain it with your own views, with your own ideas. Now you can write a result or consequence. Let's say it's statistics, number, or data. So you can explain a result of that data. You can write an example from real life related to the idea you have just paraphrased. An application, like how people use that. It depends on what type of information you have paraphrased. If it's about a machine, a cure, a solution to a problem, you can explain it like how people apply it and how we can apply it to our life. It can be an argument. You can agree, disagree, and give arguments. Most of the time, this part D here, option D here, you can use it if, for example, there are certain times when we cannot find a book for our paper. There's no book. We do our best, but we cannot get a book. What we can do, and I always tell my students to do this. So whatever your ideas are, try to search for the opposite. So for example, if I am doing a paper about advantages, try to search for one of the disadvantages, or whatever your idea is, try to look for the opposite side. Looking for a book, you might find a book there. Use it. So whatever your idea is, you mention your idea, and then you can say, however, some people disagree with this. For example, according to, here you put the paraphrase, and then you prove this paraphrase wrong. It would be a very strong writing. You give the evidence which is against you, and then you write a response to prove that evidence wrong. So you are using argumentative writing there, right there. Now, how much response should, so these are your 5 options, 4 options. Basically, the last one is you can combine any of the 2 above. How much, if you remember, I told you during the outline lectures, simple, that's my own idea, like to be on the safe side for the rubric, for the grading part, which you all think only. So what do you do for that? Response should be 1 sentence more, simply 1 sentence more then the paraphrase. So if my paraphrase is one sentence, response should be minimum 2 sentences. More is better. If my response is if my paraphrase is 2 sentences, my response should be minimum 3 sentences. More is better. Minimum means cannot be less than that. Alright, so if you are writing an explanation, this is your language. If you're agreeing or disagreeing, these are your options. These are language options that you can use to start your response. Don't say this is a good idea, this is a bad idea, this idea is not good, this idea is not okay. That's not counted as one sentence. So there are 3 examples here. Please look at them. I already told you the answer key is right there. Let's go to the blackboard and try to get a paper, sample paper, and look at the paper. How that student, let's just select one of them. So sample papers. For some reason, sample 1 is not working. So you have sample 2, sample 3, and you have another paper in oral defense folder here, sample TP presentation, because we put a PowerPoint, so we also put a paper related to this PowerPoint. So this is your 3rd sample, and then I showed you the evidence integration. There are 3 paragraphs, 3 samples there. So let's go to TP folder again and open a sample paper and look at the students' work in terms of response. Let's see what sample 2 is. Uses of robots in automotive sector, computer engineering. So the first main idea here from this student is improving efficiency in manufacturing process. So robots can improve efficiency in manufacturing process, car industries. Increasing the efficiency of manufacturing process is one significant benefit of involving robots in automobile industries. Typically, so you can see sentence 1 is the topic sentence, sentence 2, sentence 3, and sentence 4. So 3 sentences after the topic sentence is explaining that part. And then according to Ambleton 2000, there is a paraphrase here. Although modern robots are powerful and possess advanced specifications, their prices have decreased more than 40% since the 20th century. So whereas workers' wages and industrial costs are increasing. So he's discussing the paraphrase here. In other words, if these trends continued, so this is an example here. 2 examples actually, sorry. 2 sentences are the response. This is the paraphrase, however, and then a result. This is the response. Therefore, 95% of tasks are related to this. However, choosing this is this. So you can see response, another paraphrase, more response sentences. Paraphrase, 2 sentences for the response. Paraphrase, 2 sentences for the response. So this is sample 2. You can open sample 3. You can open the sample from the presentation folder. So these are your samples, and this is how you will do the response part. Just make sure you don't repeat the idea. Just make sure you make it as strong as possible to avoid any issues or problems later. And make sure you look at these 3 examples as well. I told you to look at them during the outline lecture as well, and we looked at one of them. Alright, so this is it for right now. This is, as I said, this is just a review of the evidence integration part. I'm going to stop here.